Please go to the diary room.
Every single season and learn everything that there is to know about everybody.
Please make your way to the diary room.
Celebrities, Randy. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Diary Room, Big Brother podcast, where we're trying to find the best player in Big Brother history. BBUS, BBCan, BB Celeb, OTT, for however many of those players are making it through round one. We are here in round one, back for another episode in this Big Brother 27 postseason. BB27, though, not yet on the wheel. Stay posted. They will be here soon. But in the meantime, of course, I am Matt here first, as always, with Aman eating his candy. Aman, how's it going?
I am good.
What kind of candy?
Pull and peel kind.
Oh, I should be a bigger Twizzlers fan. I'm not.
And I've got nerds as well, you know.
Well, let me not waste more time before bringing the guest in, who looks like he has opinions on the candy. Back with us today, it is Pooya. Pooya, how are you?
I am good. That is the candy you got up to go get was Twizzlers.
I love Twizzlers. They're so good.
I tried a bunch of snacks for the first time this summer on stream. Twizzlers were one of them. Not a fan.
Well, wait, did you get like the regular ropes or did you get the pull and peel kind?
Are they different?
Yes, and they taste
Why?
different. Well, I mean, with the pull and peel, you can like pull and peel. It's like the fun candy that's also kind of like
The only rope I like is a Nerds rope.
Like, here's the thing. Nerds ropes are banging. Here's the thing, though, for me, and we'll get to the Big Brother stuff, I'm sure, eventually.
No, we don't have to.
But like, this is kind of like, you know, I didn't grow up with string cheese, and everyone's like, but you gotta like peel it. No, I don't care. I'm just gonna bite it anyway. Like, I'm not gonna do all that. So if it's only for a hand activity, I'm out. But if you're saying it tastes different, I might have to try it.
No, yeah, it tastes different. It tastes different from the regular Twizzlers. Because I think the regular Twizzlers are strawberry flavors. These are cherry flavor.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, Pooya, speaking of hand activities, I'm sorry we couldn't make episode 69 work. You said hand activity. Don't look at me funny.
I said finger foods, but we move.
You said hand activity.
Did I? I don't know. I say a lot of these. I say these things and then they stick, and then I'm like, how did it get here?
Pooya was supposed to be on episode 69. I mean, the soundboard speaks for itself.
69.
Here we are, episode 70. We can call it 69 and a half or something like that. 69.69. And Pooya, we're happy to have you back. It's been just about a year or so since your last appearance. I don't remember how you left that episode feeling, if you were happy with your picks or not.
I had a good time. If I remember correctly, I kind of got the shaft as far as
I was like, I feel like you got
the bracket goes. Like, we didn't have anything like polarizing that day. It was very unanimous. Actually, no, there was one where I feel like Aman was on a different side than we were, but I don't recall who it was.
He eventually did vote with us. Even if that was the case, all three of the votes were 3-0. The biggest poll that we had of that episode was Keisha Smith. So it was like, all right, we at least have that. Keisha ended up beating Big Brother 24's Alyssa. So it was like, all right, that's easy. And then the other matchups that you had were BBCan 1 AJ versus BBCan 11 Dan, which, that's a bit of a stinker.
Just a bit, just a little,
just a bit. And then it was BBCan 9 Austin against BBCan 6 Erica Hill. So, you know, a good player within BBCan 6, but I would understand, you know, maybe not feeling the most satisfied with the overall picks. The average was a little bit further down, but we're happy to have you back to redo it.
Yeah,
happy to be back. Yeah, happy to be back.
Aman, we're here. This is the last episode of the batch of 5. Pooya, can I spoil you of recent episodes we've recorded?
Please. Yeah, we'd love to know.
So we have the contenders to win this battle back will be either the 3 people that get eliminated today or the 12 names I'm about to tell you. We have from BBCan 1, Anil, BBCan 2, Poppin' Paul Jackson, BBCan 4, Levita, BBCan 7, Kai, BBCan 11, John Michael, Celebrity Big Brother, we have Brandy Glanville and Todd Bridges, and then from BBOTT, Alex Willett. From Big Brother US, we have BB8's Carol, BB19's Megan Louder, and BB23's Frenchie. quite the interesting group. Not a ton of strong candidates, which makes me feel like there's a couple that are a little more obvious, unless we have some big eliminations today. Pooya, did any of those names stand out to you that deserve a second chance, you think?
Yeah, Pop and Paul Jackson needs his redemption arc. And if you're asking yourselves why does he want that, go message Phil T and ask him to do an impression for you. He'll make you fall in love with Pop and Paul all over again. The man is a legend.
I forgot
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good every time. It's uncanny. And then I feel like I can't imagine Alex Willett is not going to make it back on out of the here, in my opinion.
Would be kind of funny considering her sister Morgan also won a battle back.
Yeah,
There you go.
this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I feel like definitely Alex, and honestly, I feel like, you know, maybe a little Brandy Glanville love could rear its head throughout this, because a lot of these are kind of dud-ish. But then again, wait, hold on, I forgot about Levita.
I was gonna say, what about Levita? Maybe a little Levita love.
Levita love could definitely be a thing here for sure. Those are like my top three, I think, off of this list.
You know, it's funny with, of course, what we saw happen in this season of Big Brother. Levita and Kelsey were coming up in an unexpected way. We were like, oh, maybe Rachel's in a secret room, and then she's going to come back in the house because she's been watching the whole time. Just made me think of some BB Camp 4.
I really fell for that hope too. That
Hard not
really
to.
got me, and alas,
I didn't, because I was like, if we haven't had feeds in a whole 24 hours, that means they thought of everything and they're not going to get anything. That's why we're I will say I did open the video from last time I was on, just because before I didn't realize you were going to read the matchups out, so I was going to go peek at them. And then I panicked because in the little like preview, it looked like I'm wearing the same thing I was. I'm not.
No.
But Ahmad is wearing the exact same T-shirt he wore the last time I was on.
Really?
It's the exact same one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, this is my first time wearing this in a long time too. I wonder if this is the first time since I wore it last. That's crazy.
It's the Pooya shirt now.
And this isn't the exact. Well, no, this is episode. The last time that Pooya was on the podcast was directly the episode after Peridium being on the podcast. And guess who was episode 69? If I haven't already said it, Peridium.
Peridium robbed me of number 69.
Yes.
Put in the notes.
So the parallels are frightening, but the parallels will end there because today we're going to have a good draw.
Yes, we will. We're gonna have big ass names, so big you can't even fit them on the fucking wheel.
Yeah, exactly. Peridium wanted us to fight last time. We didn't get a ton of back and forth, but Pooya, we did have a matchup last time that obviously you now know the results because of the name that I'm going to tell you. Alex Willett lost her matchup to BB13's Kalia. Does that sound like the correct outcome that Kalia went through?
I think so. I think it's one of those where if you're asking someone who's watched every season once and then moved on, they might pick Alex Willett. But I think it's Kalia, someone you sit with long enough, you recognize had a lot more potential and had a lot more of a standing and could have been the bigger foil to the season. And ultimately someone who I think a lot of people have wanted to see back playing for a second time, who has not gotten that chance.
And then one more I want to get your opinion on. We, in a recent episode, went to a 2-2 tie. We had Kirsten and Braden on with us, both of our guests. And the matchup was, it was a BB Ken matchup. BB Ken won's Anil, who, as you can tell, we just named him, lost against BB Ken 10 JC Lynn. And it went to a tie, and we had to break out the tiebreaker, which was spinning a wheel to determine that JC Lynn was going to go through.
Interesting. What, without saying the votes of the other two, where did the diary room land on this vote wise?
Well, that's where it gets tricky because I voted for JC Lynn. Amon voted for Chaos because he just wanted to find out how the vote would be broken. Unless did you stand by that?
I kind of stood by a little bit of a Neil as well because I found that JC Lynn's game is definitely, I think, underrated. I do think that because of the fact that she's in the showmance, he will tend to forget what she sort of was able to do on her own and the relationships that she had outside of Gino. So I'm not going to sit here and say that the girl played horribly. Anil most definitely did not play a winning game, but I kind of voted for the personality and the fun and the chaos of it all. I'm still even to this day, like I remember much more about Anil than I do about JC Lin, even though JC Lin was what 3 years ago at this point. So
Mhm.
that's kind of where I landed on it.
But BB Can 10, there's so much
BB Can 10
to
is a
remember.
fantastic season.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah.
then if you're one of the forgotten ones in a very memorable season, that's not good.
Right.
Like, you know, it's like being on the season is iconic. You like put yourself in there, but like I don't remember the name of the second boot for BB Big Brother 10.
Yeah.
I'm thinking right now, I still can't remember his name, and I've been trying for like the last little bit.
Big Brother US 10,
Yes,
Steven.
yeah. So thank you. See, I forgot.
Unfortunately, the gay guy is unforgettable, and the one girl. What's
Oh
the
yeah,
other?
come on.
What's the girl's name? That one girl's name. That's kind of like an early boot.
Angie.
Angie. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah.
Angie.
Unfortunately, maybe it's not unfortunate. I don't know. Doing this podcast has me committing a lot of these names much more to memory than I ever would have expected.
I kind of feel like if you're a part of like a Smash cast or a Smash season and you're like forgettable, it kind of reminds me of like the predicament that one girl's in. The girl that never made it onto the show in general, and then she's just like hanging around all the cast parties at the end. And I'm like,
Oh,
girl,
Christy.
Christy.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl.
All right, Aman, let me test that theory out just out of curiosity. Pop quiz for you. A season that means a lot to both of you, you and Pooya here. BBOTT. Name every cast member. I want to see who comes up last.
Okay,
dear
Justin,
God.
Danielle, Jason,
Shelby, Whitney,
Shelby,
Pooya, no
Alex,
helping.
Morgan.
yeah,
No helping. I thought we were doing as a team.
All right, fine. You can do it.
Morgan,
Whoever
I gave
comes
him
up
enough.
last still comes up last.
Cornbread, Monty, what's her face, Neely, Scott.
How many left?
I think there's one left.
Shane.
Yeah, I don't think you had said Shane yet.
Oh, Chrissy. Forgot about Chrissy.
You said Chrissy last?
I did.
Well, that's not the
Wow.
most forgettable. I was waiting for
think I
Shane to
got
be
them
the
all.
answer.
I think Shane works. I think Shane counts.
I mean, well, he was second to last. I said Shane and
Mhm.
Chrissy. So
Yeah, but Chrissy
you know.
is not the least forgettable. Chrissy is the most memed of that season.
Yeah.
Chrissy,
Shane is
sorry.
definitely. Shane is only memorable because of his showmance with Danielle. For the most
And
part.
speaking of Pooya, the most recent matchup that we had here on the episode with Peridium involved Shane. Shane versus Todd Bridges, and we did vote Shane through to the next round over Todd Bridges.
Yeah.
Todd Bridges. Remind me which season he was on again.
Celebrity Big Brother
3.
3. He played alongside Todrick and Nisha. Good friends with Lamar, even though we put him on the block.
Got into
And,
a fight with Cynthia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that whole cast
Mm.
deserves to be punished for all of eternity.
Not a lot of seasons not a lot of matchups that's gonna have Shane from Big
No.
Brother OTT get further. This is one of them. This is one of the outs. So wow. Poor Peridium. Really got done in on number 69.
Yeah. So, hey, there we have it. But again, we're gonna get better for Pooya today. I'm gonna pull up the wheel and we're gonna get started to see who can come up. It's a very big wheel, given what we have left in the round. A lot of seasons here, which could be good, could be bad.
Have you done
Been
the
on that
math of
thing.
wow, relax, Aman. It is way too early in the podcast. Oh my god.
As if we weren't talking about hand stuff before.
You know what? We truly have gone backwards here. So here's what I was going to ask: have you done the math of how many episodes? Which episode concludes round 1? What's the number?
No.
Okay.
I think others have, but
Mhm.
I can only do so much mental planning. So
That's
just
fair.
kind of in my mind, I'm just letting it, go until it runs out. Of course, we're going to be adding on 27 soon. A lot of us are speculating about, a celebrity or some kind of season in the winter time. And I think that would still fall within round 1. So a little longer. I mean, the players remaining here in the round are dun 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 dun. Looks like 134 left, if my math is correct there.
Okay.
So, and that's going to add 17 names soon, plus maybe more. So, look, we got a little bit of time.
Fuck them 17 names.
Take that back for one of them right now.
Oh yeah, sorry, Rachel.
Look in the camera and apologize.
Sorry, Rachel. I didn't mean it.
And I would also take an apology for like Ashley, but
I can apologize to most of them. I don't dislike them. I'm just still annoyed. It is what
all
it
right.
is.
Well, we also don't know what the results of the finale are yet, so who knows? Anyway, all right, let's spin the wheel and get things started here. First name of the day.
In on that thing.
Here with Pooya, episode 69 and a half. And we are going to, looks like Celebrity Big Brother, popping its head up again, Mark McGrath.
Mark McGrath.
Okay.
Very unfortunate that Andy and Teeny were a couple episodes too early for Mark McGrath, who they were hanging out with the Survivor 47
Oh yeah,
cast.
they were. What a small world.
Crazy. But no, we instead will be the group here today to talk about Celebrity Big Brother Season 1. Third place, technically, finisher, tied with Ariadna for Mark McGrath.
Yeah, and I should have been bringing him up a while ago. Just found him. Oh, great. Mark was best known for his under-the-radar and floating gameplay and his friendship with James. Throughout the game, he tried to stay quiet and formed bonds. He lost James during the double. However, he formed another final two with Ross. When he failed to win the final HOH, he and Ariadna were evicted by Marissa. He placed third.
Guess we kind of manifested this one, talking about the idea of a Celebrity Season 4, maybe, but aren't some people speculating that like we could do different formats, not even just Celebrity, Boston Rob this, Boston Rob that, just a lot of ideas for the summer or winter.
Yeah, it'll be more Celebrity the way Traders is Celebrity than like a Masked Singer would be Celebrity, which is how they, I feel like, cast it currently or have so far.
I mean, if they totally just stole the way that Traders casts, would be a good idea, but would be fairly obvious of what they're doing. So anyway, Mark McGrath, obviously not the biggest name, the biggest player of the season. You know, you look at your Rosses and Marissas, but Pooya, any like strong memories of Mark and his time in these 26 days?
It's gonna be mean, but like I feel like his biggest contribution to the Big Brother realm for me is the live feed update song that has been going on. That is a direct parody of one of his songs. So that's going to be the big one. See, I remember rooting for him, if I'm being real with you. I just do not remember where. I also remember a very memorable moment. And I want to say it was a Summer of Stein or a Winter of Stein with Robin, Eric, where they talked about some of the remarks he has made before he went on. Or was that with Taryn? It might have been a cast assessment. I forget now. But sad to say, I don't remember a lot from his time in the house, if I'm being honest.
I think that's because there wasn't a whole lot to remember. He was one of those that kind of learned the game as it went, which happens with a lot of celebrities. But he was still like, luckily for him, came in with a pretty good, like natural social game. I do remember him. I don't know if it was the HOH that he won. They had an HOH where they had to like drag their bodies across like the red carpet that was like kind of like balancing over like open floor.
Oh yeah,
And I remember that being tough for him.
Yeah,
I don't remember if that's the one he won.
Yeah, he definitely picked up the game as it went along, and I feel like a lot of people were still pretty high on him winning the season with as more and more time went on because he was so low key and out of the way. I mean, he won HOH, and I believe his target that week was Brandy. And I think he was successful in getting her out. Obviously, you know, which was good for both him and for James, obviously, because we know how that shit went down between those two. So I think that he definitely was there to play, was there to win, and was doing okay. I just think it was one of those situations where on any other season you could probably do well, but if you're cast with some people that are like Marissa and Ross who live and breathe this shit, and Shannon, then there's no amount of time in that house that's going to have you be able to catch up to them. I think that's kind of like where it falls for me. So I think he's relatively fine. And yeah, I just, you know, he just didn't win. He couldn't get the win we needed it the most.
Yeah, I have him marked as 2 times nominated. One of those is the time he's eventually evicted when it's just he didn't win a competition and thus was on the block.
Yeah.
And the only other time I'm seeing that he went on the block was on a Ariadna HOH, and he wasn't even an initial nominee. I guess it looks like James won the veto and he needed to go up as a replacement, which was probably like, oh, just put him up as a pawn up against Shannon Elizabeth, who went out that week. But I mean, perfectly fine social game. Again, not intentionally so, probably, as far as let me play a good Big Brother social game. But when it works, it works. You don't really have to question it.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, baby.
Plus, you get like, season 1 of Celebrity Big Brother, and people are quitting left and right. And so, don't quit, and you can do
Make a
really
name for
well.
yourself. Yeah.
God, it was so annoying. There's been a quit each season, right? All 3 seasons, somebody's quit. Is that correct?
Yes.
Or did nobody quit in season 2?
I was going to say season 3, and nobody quit.
No, Chris Kattan left.
Chris Kattan left. Oh, Scaramucci, but that was
he the only one
for season 2? He was,
Yes.
right?
And that doesn't even count.
Which, yeah, people are going back and forth as to whether or not that was actually supposed to even be a thing.
I mean, when people ask like, are so and so on the wheel, people say, are Big Brother 1 players on the wheel, and is Anthony Scaramucci on the wheel? And the answer is no.
Oh, Anthony Scaramucci's not on the wheel?
Why would he be on the wheel?
He was in the house.
He didn't play. He left after like 3 days and barely made it to an edited episode. Besides the Scaramucci news, or for a whole competition or whatever the heck that was.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy that he was already on TV doing interviews.
They said he was a fake house guest. And we said, fine, go away.
They were just trying to get that Omarosa rush again. It was never going to happen.
Yes.
Omarosa is one of a kind.
All right. Well, not a whole lot to say on Mark McGrath, so we'll see if there's anything else here on whoever we draw as his opponent. I don't know what to expect. Mark could go through.
Yeah, I'm rooting for someone who will make this an interesting matchup, because otherwise I feel like it's just going to be a 3-0 goodbye Mark, most likely.
Yes. Oh, this is so funny.
Ooh.
Wait.
Oh. I can't read it. What does it say?
Cat Yee, Pooya. I swear.
Yes.
So we just talked about how you had rough players in the first episode.
Yeah.
This is the one name that I've been waiting to get off the wheel, because I'm like, what are we doing? Talking about the first boot of BB Can 1.
Yeah, the first to ever lose Big Brother Canada is on the wheel.
I'm so glad she's off. I'm sorry, that maybe again not the most exciting name, but she's got to be out of here. Not to cast my vote already. All right, Cat Yee. Yeah, like first ever boot. Can't speak. First ever boot of Big Brother Canada 1. Come on, you have any notes?
Yeah, Kat. In week 1, Kat attempted to form an all-female alliance, but the plan failed, and she was nominated as the replacement nominee by Suzette for attempting to play too aggressively and being pushy with strategy. Kat became the first house guest to be evicted from the series on day 8. That's all we've got.
Here's the thing. First to be evicted, also first evicted house guest in Big Brother Canada history, first woman evicted from Big Brother Canada history, also first person to be evicted, to be named a replacement nominee, and first person to be backdoored on Big Brother Canada. That is 5 accolades in one person. Like, I understand that she literally leaves and then hundreds of other people have played since her. She has, but it's kind of iconic. I'm not gonna lie. It kind
not
of
nothing.
is.
Yeah, I mean, when you lay it all out like that, it's not nothing. But what else? I mean, recently also Pooya Suzette won her matchup from BB Can 1. She is now in the second round. She answered the phone and she answered the call here as well to go to the next round. But as far as Kat is concerned, Kat and Suzette did not get along. Is one of my memories. Suzette said that Kat was like bullying people in the house and being toxic in the house and all this stuff. Obviously, the perception of a lot of the first boots can be that if they're being a little wild in there, but
yeah,
that was Suzette's perception, and maybe other people's who will ultimately vote her out. But besides all those firsts, do we have strong memories of Kat?
I mean, I remember, when I watched the season again, she was rather pushy when it came to trying to make sure that there was always going to be a voting block against the men. And there was a bit of traction going at first, because I mean, Suzette does nominate Emmett and Tom initially. But then, you know, that thing happens where people start playing the game, they start talking to one another, and then a light bulb kind of goes off in some of the girls' heads where they're like, well, for some of them, they're like, oh, I kind of find Tom or Emmett attractive. But then the rest of it's also kind of like, well, it's not going to be realistic to expect for all of the guys to go home. So we probably should try to make connections. And then once that happens, it's kind of just like, well, girl, it's over for you now. And you just become an easy first target because you have a reason to be put on the block because you're the only one that's pushing so hard. So, you know, I don't think it's a bad strategy to want to form any alliance of any sort, but I think you have to have some tact when doing it, and I just don't think that she really had any.
Pooya, can you say what some of those firsts were again? Obviously, it was first evicted. You said first woman evicted.
First woman evicted. First person to ever be a replacement nominee on BB
Yes,
Can, and
right.
also first person to ever be backdoored on Big Brother Canada.
Damn.
That is a lot.
Mhm.
11 out of 12 votes to go home. Liza is the only one who voted for Emmett to go, which is crazy because I thought Liza, well, that was a group at the beginning of the season. At some point, the Liza, Tom, Emmett, and Jillian.
See, one vote away from being the first unanimous eviction. Also,
Yeah. Oh,
Damn.
yeah.
who is the first unanimous? Liza. 8 out of 8 votes.
Wow, she caused that too.
Yeah.
She stole it.
Ugh, and then
Yeah.
Topaz got a unanimous vote on her way out. Peter, Andrew, if you count both of those when it's less votes in the house. I want to rewatch BB Can 1. Even when I rewatched it, I went back for this podcast and rewatched every season, but I still feel like sometimes BB Can 1 doesn't stick. I wasn't there. Pooya, were you there live for this one?
Yes, because what had happened was it came up right after, I believe, right after Big Brother 14, like that winter is when we got our first BB Can season.
Yeah.
And this was right when I'd gotten into the show as a fan. So I was there watching on a weekly, but also at this point, I was not at the level I am now where I know and I'm aware of everything that's happening. It was very surface level. Oh, the episode was on tonight. Let me go watch it. So I don't remember much. I do remember liking her and then immediately losing her is like the early recollection I have.
And I'm reminding myself in my notes, Amon, I don't know if this sounds familiar to you, that people were a little sad when she was actually ultimately evicted, that they didn't want her to go. But it's just the block that they ended up with, and Emmett had better connections.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, as far as like the audience is concerned, she definitely was there as someone that really wanted to get into the game initially, and I feel like because this is the first Canadian season, a lot of people that were able to get behind that pretty quickly because they were like, this is a chance for this brand new series to make a name for itself and not follow some of the stale gameplay that we were getting from some of what was going on with BBUS. So I can totally see why. But you know, the house is going to have to do what the house was going to do. So yeah.
So we have all of the firsts that Pooya just mentioned, and we also have the
Mhm.
first celebrity house guest to have their music become the RHAP theme song, just
Yeah.
with some words changed. So both feel relevant. Pooya, would you like to cast your vote first here with Mark McGrath versus Kat Yee?
I am going with Canada on this one,
Damn.
which is a wild thing to say because when you pulled first boot of Big Brother Canada, I was like, this is a wash for Mark McGrath. But then when you sit with it, it's like, well, honestly, like, no. I feel like there's something to be said about being the first out of the franchise, kicking it off. Like this is if this was the Olympic torch being run, she's the first one to take the torch and run with it. So yeah, you know what? I'm firm with my pick.
Okay. So am I. I'm voting for Mark. Yeah. I mean, I get why you're voting for Kat, but you know, who's the better player here? Again, the social game of
Sure.
Mark McGrath. But as always, you determine whatever criteria you want to when you cast your vote. So I'm gonna go for Mark, and we'll let the chaos master king leader himself, Amon, decide which way this is gonna go.
You know, eeny, meeny, miny. I'm kidding.
Some of these you may as well.
It is kind of iconic. The triple record that she's got. That's kind of fun. That's some good old Big Brother trivia for you. But I think I'm going to side with Matt. I think there's more to dive into when it comes to Mark and talking about his game. I have not done a Big Brother Celebrity 1 rewatch yet, but I plan to very soon. And so I think I'm willing to have him in round 2 and let Kat continue to make her records. I guess this one would be one for her, but
there's some kind of record here.
I'm sure there is.
First person to be eliminated of
First-
Pooya's second episode on the Diary Room.
The first boot
And I
to
mean-
be eliminated by a celebrity player.
Yeah, I think the other thing too, though, is that the reality is, while I may come back in the future, y'all will be here every
Hey,
week for
what did we
if
do?
I get invited. Not because I don't want to show up. If I get invited, but
Whew,
like
scared me.
you are the ones who have to talk about these people in the second round, and really, Kat getting past this round would have been off that. Kat's not making it past anybody in the next round. So at least with Mark, you got a little bit of intrigue there of like who and how. Like at the end of the day, you put through a third placer. That's a decent, finish.
Sending Kat through might be good for someone that we want to make it past round 2 as
There's
well.
plenty of those people in the round. There's plenty of dummies and bad players, and I shouldn't be calling Kat a dummy. I don't think she was at that level, but that does bring up a good point, though. Not that this is super related. How far is Raven Walton going to go in this competition? She's already in the second round.
She's making it to round 3. I can already.
What about round 4?
Probably not. But I think she can make it probably one more round. I see it. I can see it. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like just guessing based on how it went the first time, I think I would agree with you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mark my words.
I mean, she certainly deserves to do better than most of the Big Brother 27 cast. So, that'll be a stat that I'll try to remember to pull up when the time comes. All right. Well, with that all said, Mark McGrath advances to round 2, Celebrity Big Brother, another representative going forward, and Big Brother Canada's first ever boot, along with all the rest of those firsts, is out in Kat Yee. Let's find our next player. Second matchup here of the day. Who's it gonna be?
Who's it gonna be? Oh,
beautiful. Big Brother Canada 3. I love Big Brother Canada 3, and we never get to talk about it because this damn season has not come up in 37 episodes on this podcast.
Damn.
Really?
7 episodes. It was the longest streak that is now broken. Now that goes to Big Brother 7.
It doesn't feel that long because we just talked to Sarah like a month and a half ago.
BB Can 3. Does anybody else have the same BB Can 3 warm fuzzy feelings? It was my first BB Can.
Oh, I loved it. I loved BB Can 3 a lot. I think that was the first season where I really enjoyed, I don't know how many percent, but a lot of the cast I vibed with. So it was an easy watch and an easy route for going, throughout the whole thing.
100%.
Yeah, I believe this was my first BB Can season that I was live feeding for, I believe. But yeah, I would agree.
Notes on Zach?
Yeah. Zach's game began as an attempt to ride the middle of the Chop Shop and the Purple Cobras. He and ally Jordan planned on manipulating both sides into targeting each other. His plans began to crumble during his HOH reign, where he left Jordan on the block, who was then voted out. Zach quickly became the biggest target and had to rely on his diaper alliance for safety. In week 8, Bruno was evicted over Zach. However, when Sarah became HOH in week 9, she nominated him and his showmans, Ashley. Ashley won the POV, and Zach was evicted in a unanimous 3-0 vote.
All right, so we're watching, just watching a lot of BB27 this past couple of months, and a lot of insane moves, a lot of insane plans. And when you think of others in Big Brother history, look no further than our good friend Jordan Parhar and his ally Zach Pooya, who had this great plan. Let's have Zach renom JP. It'll be great. It'll be easy. We'll be fine, and
Yeah.
not so much.
Yeah. Leave him up there. Just do it. Love to see it.
This is probably one of the most conflicted I've been of a week I've ever seen on Big Brother, because the fallout was amazing, the blindside was amazing, the speech was amazing, the jump heard around the world after the votes were counted was amazing.
He had hops, yo.
When
He
I
touched
look
the
at the
roof.
screen grabs of that, I can't believe that that's real. It looks photoshopped.
Yeah, it looks AI. It looks like,
Yeah.
someone put into Google AI or whatever and said, show me a house guest thrilled to be staying in the house after the person on the block next to him gets blindsided, and you would get that picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like on an iconic level, maximum level has been achieved. That is a reign to have. But also, it is a boneheaded reign to have when you recognize the man had all the power that week, and then his closest ally goes home. Like, that was horrendously done. The only other veto he does win, and if we're talking history book stuff here, first ever triple eviction, correct?
Mm-hmm.
He won that veto.
No, Bruno
Yeah,
won that veto and saved Zach.
Oh, I thought he won it and used it on Bruno. Bruno won it and saved Zach, really?
According to Wikipedia, unless it's lying to me.
I mean, I'll take Wikipedia's word for it.
Yeah.
I don't. In my mind, it was the other way around, but that's fine.
Yeah.
What did he
so
win?
yeah, Zach, Kevin, and Peely on the block. Bruno was. I mean, it makes sense that Bruno would have saved Zach there. I think Zach would have done the same for Bruno, but those two were obviously boys in that house. And ultimately, Bruno's going to go home sitting next to Zach soon after.
Yeah.
But that triple eviction, definitely frightening. I was not thrilled when Kevin and Willow walk out of the house together. I was rooting for both of them. But I was rooting for so many people on this season. I really like this cast. And even with the moves that Zach was making, or a lot of them were making, I guess. I mean, he put him up initially, won the veto, and still didn't change it.
Yeah. I think Zach just he just one of those games where you kind of he wanted to eat his cake and have it too, right? Like, he came in pretty decent, solid social game, very approachable, easy on the eyes. They called him Captain Canada. Like, he has this smorgasbord of alliances that he is able to sort of just like duck in and out of, try to make them go after one another. Has this really cool thing with Jordan, so it's like the jock and the nerd coming together. It's just like it felt like a really, really good scenario to be in, but I think he just plays a little too close to the sun because he feels like he's untouchable in a sense, and then now you fracture trust with the rest of the house, because after that whole Jordan blindside, it becomes very apparent as to what you're doing, and it's really a hard spot to be in. Now, it still keeps him it still keeps him from getting voted out over other alliance members. So, obviously the social game is still kicking in and providing dividends. But I do think that if there was just, I feel like if week 5 doesn't happen, and also if you're getting screwed by this triple eviction, even though he survives it, I feel like there's still a world in which we talk about Zach being the winner of BBK 3, but I think there was just too many spinning of too many plates, as we've grown to say, and that's kind of like where it ends for me. But I think he's a pretty solid player. He just had too much going on.
Just a really bad decision making, at least in that spot. But I feel like, especially like, showmances across Big Brother history in general, a lot of success in them, not 100%, but a lot of success. And I feel like in early BB Can, it was like really like, you find your duo, you are set. And he found Ashley, and the two of them were certainly showmancing, but the week that he goes home, he's on the block next to Peely, who is Ashley's best friend in the house, and that's a tough decision. Also wouldn't have made a difference because it was 3 votes. I just double checked this. Godfrey, Brittany, and Ashley that were voting. Ashley, even if she wanted to save Zach, would not have been able to. Godfrey and Brittany were always going to send him out there. But still, like, set up rather well given the formula of the showmance, especially in BB Can. So I don't know. I love this cast.
Yeah, it's
It really
pretty
do.
Yeah. I think despite his reign, I don't know if there's we'll see who the matchup is up against, because this might be an easy one for me. Maybe.
To send him through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Definitely feel like, even with the mistakes that were involved there, doesn't feel like he would make them again.
What if it's versus the other
The other Zach from
BB Can 16 or BB 16?
Oh, he already went through.
Oh,
he did.
Zach's in Big Brother. Yeah,
there's
Zach
a couple of Zachs. Yeah,
Why do I forget? Wait, when did we have Zach? Why did I forget Zach going through?
I think Zach Rance might have been a patron episode. But up next, oh boy, oh no, Kevin
It's
Martin.
over.
Oh no.
Wow.
Oh, I loved BB Can 3 too hard, and I willed another one.
Yep.
Wow. Well,
no.
I mean, if we're talking about BB Can 3, then maybe. But
we were definitely talking about BB Can 3 and Kevin Martin on his triple eviction boot there that scarred him for a long time. But he got his redemption in BB Can 5.
speaking of which, I did not realize that. Never mind. I guess we don't need to talk about that on this podcast. But
Probably
I
not.
think to go with that. Interesting. Yeah. I wish everybody well in the situation. Anyway, Kevin. In BB Can 3, Kevin was most commonly known for his reversed and secretive gameplay. He was able, not reserved, excuse me. Reserved and secretive gameplay. Reverse. He was able to lay low with the help of his showman's Pilar. Despite his abilities, his membership with the Diaper Alliance made him a target, and he was unable to escape eviction during the triple eviction. In BB Can 5, Kevin was best known for his relationship with William, bromance with Bruno, rivalry with Dimitri, and dominance. I cannot read today. And dominance in comps. Kevin joined the 6 early on, and this managed to win the remaining HOHs he was eligible to compete in, and 2 must-win POVs. His numerous comp wins, likability, ability to make it to the final 2 without allies, and the jury's lack of respect for fellow finalist Karen Singbiel won him the game. He won in a unanimous 9-0 vote.
That he did. Another winner off the list here, Amon. We've really been getting down there with the remaining winners on the wheel. And Pooya, I don't even know, where do you even begin with this guy who, such a big impression on BB Can 3. It's no surprise when he gets to come back for season 5. And then you get to season 5 and we've got all of these like legends of the game battling it out, of course, Kevin included. And next thing you know, we got a newbie in the mix in Dimitri's to battle it out for the comps back and forth with Kevin all the way to the end. And who's going to win the final competition and win the game? Kevin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, because his first game, there was potential there. He does end up leaving, but then his redemption arc is so strong. Like when you put the 2 seasons together, it almost feels like there was plot armor. And it was scripted how he gets to the end, gets to face the triple eviction again, stare it in the face, beat it, dominate it, get through it, and then have this like intense back and forth with Dimitri's where they're just passing power back and forth. And then correct me if I'm wrong, because I tried to do that math when we were talking. The first unanimous winner of Big Brother Canada, right? Unless I'm missing, because I think Sabrina got 1 vote and 2. Did Godfrey get a vote? Right. Godfrey got a vote, and then Kelsey got a vote. Yeah, no, it is the first unanimous win. Yeah, so that's also huge. That's also big. One of the him and Willow first ever to get triple evicted. That's also a first. If we're looking at firsts here,
yes.
But the guy also won first returnee to win Big Brother Canada. Like that is huge. Also, only returnee to win Big Brother Canada. Yes.
Yeah. by the skin of his teeth because this last year came close. Yeah, I mean, look, Kevin, I think just very interesting to watch both times. I think the first time, I remember always wanting to see more from him because he was one of those first people that I'd seen on Big Brother that I was like, oh my God, like I feel like he appreciates the game and the social component of it in the same way that I do. Like his brain and how he thinks about it. I like that's how I feel like I would want to be in the house. Like he was definitely one of those players that I could see myself in. Now I don't necessarily know if I would be like Kevin, but it's somebody that I would want to play like. So I've always from Big Brother Canada 3, I was like, oh my God, this guy is one to watch. And then to see the utter devastation and the crestfallen look on his face when he knows during that triple that he's done for, I felt so bad for him, but at the same time, some of the people that I was rooting for even more than him were staying, so I was like, okay, I'm good. But I felt so bad to see him go. And then when he gets announced for BB 5, I was like, oh my God, yes, redemption! This is amazing! And then they went ahead and cast Ica, and I was like, oh, okay, well. I was like, all right, well, that was short-lived. Bye, Kevin.
They were working together a little bit, that group at the beginning.
They were a dysfunctional ass family. But they made a lot of things work, and honestly, I really feel like he learned a lot from his mistakes. I feel like he and Cindy, I feel like, really tried to be a lot more, even more reserved than they already were. Well, Cindy wasn't really reserved her time, but he sort of like took the things that he liked about his first time in that house, and I really feel like he implemented them in his game this time, but also made sure that he was an active member with his alliance members, and found a showmance in one way or another once again. He used that a lot to his ability. So I feel like he played a decent game. I do think that he was in hot water a lot of the time. I think that obviously with his alliance crumbling all around him and Ica really just taking the reins to make sure that happened. Yeah, she had him beat socially. But he was a student of the game and he knew what he had to do in winning all those comps. So on one hand, you're like, your social game was kind of subpar to some of the people that are left in the house, but you kind of know what to do to turn it up in other ways. So it's like, it's kind of like a give and a take. So, but it
broke the game. He broke Big Brother competitions in a way that nobody ever has before. And so while, yes, when we get to future rounds and match Kevin up against other strong players, he's going to have some, run-ins with players who did a lot better socially than him. And he knows that. He's listening. But he was able to ensure he was never going to go, because every competition that came his way in the Big Brother Canada playbook, he was going to be able to win. And it wasn't up against he was playing Dimitri. He was still tough competition. It was insane.
I mean, I think that people who are going to discredit his win because of that, I would argue it's kind of unfounded to me, because it takes a level of dedication to study all of those competitions to the point where you know exactly how to operate them, and then carry those into the house, be in that high pressure situation, then be in a situation where good and well, if you do not win, you are going home, and then maintain enough composure to get those wins also. And even after all of that, coming close in some of these and barely getting them past Dimitri. So for me, that's huge. I think also he has a good mind for these games. He has made a stint over onto the Traders Canada as well. And in there, he wanted to be a faithful, and he really did have a good idea of some different strategic things to pull off. I think the problem was the social game was a little bit iffy. And by that, I mean, he was a little too vocal with some people about what his plans were, and that did not go well. So for me, also the other thing, I believe only returning Big Brother Canada player also to have never had a cast a vote cast against him for eviction. Because if you think about it, he didn't leave Big Brother Canada 3 by a vote. It was a vote to save. So he just received nothing and went home. And then on the other one, he just never stays on the block because the man kept winning to stay off the block. So I think those are also pretty cool statistics. I mean, listen, I said Zach's probably going to win this, but Kevin smokes him.
But then Kevin showed up.
Yep.
And his traders run was followed pretty soon after by his Amazing Race Canada run, which I did not see myself, but saw, a clip or two and heard a lot about how much fun he was having on that season, leaning into like a villainous role in a real big way for the first time in his reality TV career. There's so much to get into when it comes to Kevin. I mean, my question is, do we have any reason to believe that Morgan from BB27 knows anything about Kevin? Because she had some aspects of his game going into there. And I'm talking, of course, about the flirt of it all. Flirt with someone really hard and they'll do whatever you want. I've thought about Kevin a couple times while watching Morgan on this season. I don't think she knows him whatsoever. But maybe actually Twitch,
I mean, yeah, but he's
poker.
Not really a gamer so much as he just, he gambles.
Poker's a game.
And yeah,
no, I doubt it. But I mean, Kevin, like, besides the comps, and it's not a piss poor social game, it's just not as strong as a lot of other winners when you're doing the comparison. The fact that Karen hated him so much
he was very much like, he took a backseat with a lot of what was going on with the alliance, which is completely understandable because you have such strong personalities and you got Ika and Netta going back and forth. I wouldn't want to get in between that either. Like, so he kind of just, and to his credit, I really don't know what he could have done, because when you have two people that are completely on opposite sides, they really, like, you have to either pick a side or you just step back and you have to find your own side. And again, I do think, to his credit, I think that he was creating other bonds outside of the alliance. I mean,
and then he was burning them with Jackie. He said, "I don't need you anymore."
He was burning them, and he was also being like kind of like really, really out in the open with them as well, to the point where like people are telling William like, honey, it's Kevin, what are you doing? So it wasn't as covert as it could have been, but again, it was enough. He put in the work enough to be as safe as anyone could be in the situation that he was in. So it's not a perfect game by any means, but it's certainly an improved game for BB Can 3 for sure.
And as we have seen with Morgan, I don't know how the season ends yet, to see how it finishes for her, but having the one player that will do whatever you say, whatever it takes to get that player
dynamic really is now
on your side. Mamon's not caught up on BB27.
So all I see is like I just see people complaining about the two of them. I thought
we'll talk after
because they're just annoying in general. I didn't know that it was like that. Oh my god!
It's the what Kevin was able to accomplish in his 2 seasons using those methods is impressive at the end of the day. And it may not have left some of those people with the happiest feelings towards him, but I don't know that for sure. It just felt like
Kevin, you little bitch.
So
the man could marinate easy. And like, again, he had the determination to do whatever it takes to win, and like would try and do whatever it takes to win, and gets a win. So
he's an
opportunistic
player. He's opportunistic.
Fully in the top tier of like who walked into a Big Brother house wanting to win the game as whatever it takes to do so. Like whatever that tier is, he's there. With all that said, Pooya, back to you first. Would you like to lock in your vote? I think you already kind of made it.
We're shopping at Kmart today, folks. We're going Kevin on this one.
Any Kmart still in business?
I don't think so. I've never been to one.
This shit has been defunct for years. Not me. Blurry. No.
Come on, you've been blurry, my friend.
I have? Oh my god.
For a little bit.
I was looking at Kevin's shit. My bad. Yeah, definitely. Kevin, all the way.
Sorry, Zach. You shouldn't have put Jordan up. Maybe you would have been the winner yourself. But JP also had something to do with that, and JP hasn't come up yet. So we'll talk about that again at some point. But for now, Kevin Martin goes through to the next round in a 4-0 vote. Shout out to Julianne, I believe, who had a vote on Kevin Martin and makes it officially official.
Damn, y'all
that-
really thought Kevin Martin wouldn't have won his matchup? Come on now, y'all.
no, but it's not just that. I mean, there are some big names that don't have votes, and I'll just say recently someone wanted to cast a vote for a big name and was like, how is this person still available? I was like, well, people don't think that they need the vote, but you never know.
And there are very few people, even other winners, I think, that Kevin Martin cannot beat.
Kmart still exists, by the way.
I feel like it did. Yeah, that's why I was like,
Oh.
anyone have anyone by them?
The
that
company
shit went
closed its last full-size big box store in the mainland United States in 2024.
What?
So,
So
yeah.
they're still existing in like the online only capacity?
And there's other
Like
countries.
smaller marts?
Yeah, they've got physical stores in the Virgin Islands, in Guam.
Okay.
I thought
Okay.
that shit went under, honey.
I like
don't know.
Kmart was one of the
I-
ones that you at least the one by me that you like put the coin in the cart. I know that still exists out there, but that's
Yeah,
what I
Aldi does that.
associate.
Aldi does that.
Yeah. All right. Well, Kmart advancing, unlike
why
the store,
Kmart
just
is
the
the coin
person.
cart.
What'd you say, Mon?
That's why you like Kmart, because of the coin cart.
When you were a child and you got to put that coin into that slot and
Order.
release the cart, oh boy, no bigger rush.
Oh my
No
god.
bigger rush. All right, back to the wheel here. We have two more players left to pick here today with Pooya. Let's find out who number 5 is going to be.
Come on, give me a
Who's
battle. Give me like
gonna
a bloodbath battle.
A bloodbath battle between
Ooh, who is that?
Oh,
Frankie Grande?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Okay, this
I
is
gotta
going to
fix
get
this
very
wheel because
interesting.
the next name that almost came up is somebody who already has come off the wheel. So that's on me. None of you
Oh.
would have noticed if I didn't say anything. So I don't know why Jeremy Maguire is still there. But Frankie Grande has not
Rigged.
yet come up, and that's a big name.
That is a big
Huge.
name. Two big names back to back. Okay. I'm here for it.
BB16 and Reindeer Games.
Oh yeah, he was on there, wasn't he?
Oh, he sure was.
I need to rewatch Reindeer Games this season. That's exciting. All right, Frankie. For weeks, Frankie told his sister's secret, or hid his sister's secret.
He's telling everyone. He got in the house. He was spending
The
every
English
moment.
language is kicking Amon's ass tonight. My God. Got him on against the ropes. Throw the towel in.
I swear they said no kid left behind. I swear it was not left behind.
Oh
Right.
boy. Oh
For
boy.
kids, Frankie hid his sister's secret for weeks. Oh my god, what the hell did I just say? For weeks, Frankie hid his sister's secret from his fellow cast members. But when his back was against the wall, he revealed it as an attempt to win them back, which was dumb as hell. To mixed responses, after winning the first HOH comp, Frankie established a relationship with co-HOH Caleb that eventually led to the creation of the Bomb Squad. After Devin was evicted in week 3, Frankie joined a new alliance called the Detonators, which consisted of 4 other original Bomb Squad members. When the BB Rewind twist was introduced in week 11, Frankie was adamant about pressing it, unknowingly nullifying his HOH and POV wins. He was evicted in the Rewind week after failing to win the same comps by a 2-0 vote, placing 5th.
So Amon, you manifested this one by mentioning Zach Rance before, and now we have the other half of Zanky.
Yes.
Frankie James Grande. We'll give him the full name here. Yeah, Pooya, it's certainly a big name, not just a big character, larger than life, but also, probably on a lot of people's lists of best Big Brother players to not win. Maybe not like at the top of the list of the names you think of, but I feel like that's the common perception of him.
I mean, what world are we living in if Frankie isn't gone after a reset into the Final Four? Like, truly could be looking at the season's winner. Now, I don't want to play the whole scenario. Maybe I'm wrong, but still could have been something. I think Frankie's somebody who a lot of us have anticipated coming back. When BB22 was happening, aka All-Star Season 2, I think Frankie was on a lot of people's lists of like, well, they're going to ask Frankie. Like, how is Frankie not going to be there? I think also Frankie, a bit of a divisive one because of how high energy Frankie is, how animated Frankie is, how much screen dominant Frankie is. I think a lot of people, if they don't like Frankie, they really loathe Frankie. But I feel like with time, you learn to appreciate Frankie more and more if you even were in that camp. I think also seeing Frankie on reindeer games reminded us of the energy that is there. I still think Frankie is a top tier ballot now for the next All-Star season if we get there.
And if he wants to go, at this point, like, people are going to
True.
joke on, his level of fame all they want, but he doesn't necessarily need the show. When he showed back up for reindeer games, it seems like it's because he wanted to, not because,
I mean, but I would argue that he didn't really need the show on BB16 either. Like, Frankie, he's always been celebrity adjacent. I never really got the impression that he was doing it solely for the attention. I think on some level, I mean, Frankie's just an attention seeker. That's just who he is. He's always going to have that, especially living under the shadow of your younger sister. I get it. But like, honestly, I think he's going to be fine no matter what he's doing. I honestly just got the vibe that he was just a fan of the show and he just wanted a chance to come on and play a dominant ass game, which he did. So I'm still kind of shocked that he wasn't a lock for BB All-Stars 2. It doesn't really make sense to me. I mean, I know that, a lot of people would have been sort of like nauseated at the thought of it, but like I would have been here for it because he's annoyingly great TV. He just is, like, and he gives a shit. He gives a shit about the game. He was in that mode of like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. Some of it was a bit diluted, mind you, but it was electrifying to watch. So yeah, I just I don't know if I don't know if he ever really needs Big Brother. I'm just glad that he likes Big Brother.
Well, was he also the first American house guest to end up on the UK's Big Brother? Because he was on Celebrity Big Brother.
I don't know
UK.
who else would have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, especially considering, Celebrity Big Brother, like who else from US would have gotten that nod at any point? I don't think that he did. I don't think he won that season, right? Do you have the stats up?
He
over
came
there?
up 6th
Okay.
out of
No,
18 people also. So
yeah, no, he definitely has a big love for Big Brother that brought him to the show in the first place, brought him back for reindeer games, and I mean, brings him around in general. He was part
15.
of, the Danielle and Brittany, time laser in BB25, and that wasn't supposed to be reindeer games at the beginning. It obviously turns into reindeer games with all of them getting on the cast, but definitely polarizing. That's a great, top word to use when it comes to the fan perception of Frankie, him in the house as well. He played really well with the allies that he made along the way. I mean, there's some things that I look back on, and it's just, I think, a lack of memory for me that I'm like, wait, why did he backdoor Zach? I know that they had a lot of issues throughout the season where Zach was losing trust in him and kind of coming hard for him, saying, you did this to me and I'll never trust you again. But it seemed, I thought I remembered them coming back together.
I honestly feel like a little bit of this is a lot of it is Zach's fault. Like I feel like because of the fact that like I think there were more fans of Zach than there were of Frankie, if we're being really, really real about the situation. And I think that we kind of like erased all of the shenanigans that Zach was doing, sort of like not like trying to throw Frankie under the bus, but just being so loud and obnoxious. And also, he was sort of scheming against Derek as well, which Derek is masterful enough to call out and deflate before he could even really go anywhere. And to the point where, like, Frankie is, he's in the detonators with Derek and all those people. He's in Team America with Derek. At some point, like, the pressure to want to get rid of Zach or stick your neck out for Zach, who's clearly all over the place. It's like, well, Zach, what did you think was going to happen? Like, Frankie's not like, he's not a genie in a bottle. He's not going to be able to get you out of every situation. I just think it just really, really hurt him because Zach, I think Frankie was like the one true ally that he had, whereas Frankie had Zach, which was a true allyship, but he also had all this other shit. So, but that's not really Frankie's fault. That's Zach's.
He I think is obviously going to be a favorite in whatever this ends up being, but obviously, no idea who's going to come up next. I guess I'm just thinking, in the same way of what we were just talking about with Kevin, what flaws in his game will we be looking at if he's in later rounds against other strong players? And a little bit of like the erratic nature that he has in that house, like coming out of, I think he did the reveal, the sister reveal after he won the Battle of the Block by himself, right? With Caleb, I think he comes in the house and he's like, all right, look, my cards are on the table. Here's this, here's that, here's who I am. I'm Ariana Grande's brother. And then Derek's like, who? But
I still don't understand. It was such a boneheaded move. I was like, what did you think that was going to do for you? I don't get it.
I remember him like also, I think, like leading the charge to push that button at Final 5. It's like, you are HOH, you are in power. There's a scary red button. Someone's going to push it, but don't lead the charge. Don't be so excited about this. This is not good for you.
Yeah.
In what world?
No world.
So Frankie. And then, good run on Reindeer Games as well. Coming in tied for third with Xavier.
Yeah.
Could have won that.
Matt, do you know who won his season of Celebrity Big Brother UK?
Not a clue.
Does the name Stephen Bear?
He won?
He won that season. Guy? Yep. The challenge guy.
Kind of a challenge guy. I mean, yeah. 2 seasons and then more of a jail guy, but not right now.
Jail?
Do some Googling after the podcast.
What the fuck did he do?
Oh, don't not right now.
Don't Google it now.
Yeah, not
well,
right
now I want to Google it.
It's
Google
not good
it
stuff.
later.
It's really not good stuff. So not fun topics of discussion here. I don't know how we got there. Well, no, Pooya brought us there, but not on purpose. Anyway,
all
ready for the next spin?
Yes.
While Aman is horrified with his Google.
Clearly Googling when we asked him not to. Yes.
All right. Well, Frankie Grande needs an opponent.
It'd be funny if it lands on Jeremy here and we have to re-roll.
That wouldn't be funny.
It would be a little funny.
Back
oh my god.
Can.
Oh
no.
Oh, that would have been a matchup.
What the hell?
Okay, you really BB Can too hard today, Matt. This one's on you.
BB Can 3 too hard, not BB Can 2 too hard.
That's what I meant.
No, I know you just made a pun that I made a pun, and I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said it. Ashley would. I hope you all watched BB Can 3, because if not, half of this episode doesn't mean a ton to you. If not, go watch BB Can 3 somehow. Ashley would.
Interesting. Very interesting.
She would come in this episode, huh?
She sure would.
Yeah. It kind of feels a lot like her game to show up like this at the last minute. All right, Ashley played loyal and under the radar, which helped her not get nominated until the final 6. She chose Pilar to be her main allies since she felt her showmance Zach would have won the game against her. She was underestimated for being a weak competitor, but eventually turned out to be a force to be reckoned with, winning 1 HOH and 3 POVs. She was evicted by the sole vote of her ally Godfrey at the final 3. She was placed 10th.
She was, I would say for me, like an unexpected surprise. When we get to the final 3 and it's her, Godfrey, and Sarah sitting around the table trying to figure out what jury vote they were going to take away. And there's a clip, there's like an image of her getting frustrated with them because they were trying to take away votes that she knew she had, which she had a fair amount of them. And she, I don't know if you guys remember, like, is like pointing down at the table like this, like we're like pick one of these, we're down to these 2. She was very frustrated. I'm not doing it justice, but she put her foot down. She would have won the game, I think, if she gets to the end, probably against either of those 2. I haven't done the math in a while to figure out that vote, but that feels correct to me, Pooya.
I certainly think so. I mean, also, I was a guy who went into the finale rooting and thinking Godfrey could win. So maybe I think you're more accurate than where my biased little casual mind was back then. That being said, I feel like Ashley's someone who definitely showed a lot of promise, definitely knew what was going on. I think recognizing that you're not going to win next to your showmance is an underrated thing. I feel like sometimes the showman's like, we're just going to get to the end together. Whatever happens, we'll figure it out. And then he's like, well, you're going to come up short. So that's no good. But also, I don't know. It's tough because I don't have a lot much else to say because I do think, unfortunately, Ashley is someone who does end up getting forgotten in the midst of that season's cast, even though she came in third place, even though she was one HOH away from potentially being the winner of the season, one sole vote eviction away from being the winner of the season. I think she becomes a little bit forgettable, but she's not forgettable to me. She's one of like the few BB Cam people I actually did follow on socials. So I've seen her journey throughout, and we're birthday neighbors. She's February 21st, I'm February 22nd. As is Aman. She's our birthday neighbor. Aman is like what, February 24th? Yeah.
Are you February kids? I don't have
Yeah.
a ton of birthday neighbors in August, but it's okay. Yeah, Aman, what about you on Ashley Wood?
Yeah, I like I said, she kind of like she's like one of those kids that waited until the last report period to turn in everything, right? Like she won 3 POVs in a row at the end of that shit, which we were all kind of like, whoa,
3
Ashley.
POVs in a row. Why do I have her down for 1 veto? Is that wrong?
She definitely won 3.
Oh, not me making mistakes everywhere. If that's correct.
Yeah, she's tied the record for I think women in BB Can winning the veto.
Damn, look at this incorrect graphic. I should just take it down.
Wow, she's gonna sue us. Yeah. So I definitely feel like I do like that she recognized the dynamic with Zach and that she was really trying to set up an end game for herself that would grant a win. But I also think there was just a little too much too late. Because I don't know, because then I kind of go back and forth with how Sarah got there in the end. Because there was a little bit of production shenanigans, which doesn't discredit Sarah as a whole. I think Sarah is a fantastic winner. But like when I'm thinking about some of the people that she was up against in the end game that were actually giving her a run for her money, I'm like,
I'm just going back to the whole, if she was up against, I'll start with like up against Godfrey in the end. I think she almost easily wins that because she gets Peely, Zach, and Bruno for sure. I think she gets Brittany and Sarah as well. I have like a pretty vivid memory of at that end game when it looked clear like it was going to be Peely and Ashley versus Sarah and Brittany, both taking respected shots at one another. But they all liked each other a lot. There was no bad blood. There was no animosity. It was like, especially Ashley and Peely, they were just like 2 sweet people that were playing Big Brother alongside them. And when they end up taking Peely out, they felt bad. When Ashley goes, it's just like no hurt feelings whatsoever. So I feel like she would have gotten their votes too. Jordan gets kicked off the jury, but he would have been a vote for her. I mean, to be clear, even if she wins, I think she is a relatively, like, and no disrespect, just like mid winner, just kind of like your very average, like last survivor of a specific alliance that makes it to the end. And plus, like you mentioned, does win some comps to get herself there. So definitely a respectable game, but still maybe a little bit forgotten about.
Yeah.
And she's up here against Frankie Grande.
I'm just a smidge torn about this, actually.
Well, is it, it's like when you compare the resumes, very similar spots ish, where we're saying one vote could have switched it up for Ashley versus one non-reset could have, one placement higher, final 4 could have been what Frankie needed to get to final 2. So it's tough in that regard. I guess the question would be if they were both to play, for me, not for anybody else, if they were both to play the game today, both to enter the house today, who do I think would have the better tenure? And by that I mean just, and I'm not even saying placement, I'm saying like who would be the better player? That's what I'm trying to go off of. It's tough.
I mean, I'll vote first, just because I feel like you're both thinking. I think I
have my answer.
Okay, do you want to go first?
Yeah. I think I'm going to go ahead and give this to Frankie because I think he is always going to be in the driver's seat no matter what. And while that can be dangerous because it's a very visible game, it's still fairly effective. I mean, we know that Reindeer Games isn't exactly the same type of format, but he does pretty well there as well. And it was a pretty similar type of situation there as well. So I feel like Frankie is always going to want to try to be the writer of his own destiny. Whereas I feel like with Ashley, it's a bit more laid back. There really isn't much that she does in the beginning of the season. And that's fine. That's also something that can get you to the end. I just don't necessarily know if it grants you the win. I just think if Frankie knows how to adjust and he knows when to, put the brakes on, I feel like he easily wins the season of Big Brother. I really don't know if I can say the same thing for Ashley.
Pooya, you want the next vote or the final vote?
I can take the next one and lock this up because I'm also going with Frankie. I think ultimately, despite the, you could kind of put their games on top of each other. Like, I could see like where the ending is very similar, or the legacy is very similar as far as where they ended. But I think what takes it to Frankie for me is that Frankie has just become such an iconic part of the U.S. franchise. His season 16 is applauded for being like the start of the modern era of Big Brother and for a lot of people in a positive way, but a lot of people into the show. I think also the moment where he does win the Battle of the Block by himself, despite all of us realizing that, it's actually easier with him doing it solo as opposed to him and Caleb doing it together. That moment is a very iconic, memorable moment. I think that, think of the 3 people they brought back to do the weird Shrinky McShrink thing for that skit. He was one of the 3 they brought back for that. I think that is something worth noting also, where Shrink. I don't remember what the laser did.
The time laser.
That's what it was.
Multiverse laser.
Yeah. And by the way, of those 3 people, 2 of them ended up on the Traitors shortly after. So I feel like if he's in that caliber, to me, he is going to get the vote here. And he is someone who, while, we could play the exercise of who would do better on another season, I think the reality is that Frankie's odds are infinitely better. And I'm not just saying that because Canada is no longer a franchise that's putting new seasons in. I think even if a new season came in and they were immediately going to do an All-Stars for Canada, I don't know if Ashley's making like the top 20 shortlist. So,
it still pains me that we never got a true All-Stars for Canada.
Yep.
This isn't a very easy pick for Frankie. I say unfortunately for the sake of Ashley, because I do like her a lot and wish she could have had a better matchup for herself here to get into the second round. Still could get voted in. But yeah, I mean, it's you could definitely add on kind of as Pooya is alluding to, like the legacy aspect of it all, where sometimes that works for a player's, or helps a player's case. Sometimes it doesn't mean much. But when you add on the legacy that he has in the realm of Big Brother, on top of the fact that he is a strong game player. I was also going to reference Reindeer Games as far as like, he finds a way, besides the fact that, he's able to win competitions, single-handedly winning a Battle of the Block that, yes, some people might argue was better as a 1-person game than a 2-person game. Not important, still a huge moment in the show, and still something that not everybody probably could have done. So he can win comps. He really does have a lot of the social aspects of the game down, as well as a lot of the strategic aspects. And so I think he gets a lot of credit for being a good player for good reason. And it would be pretty impossible for me to personally justify saying that Ashley is better than Frankie. I do have to say there's a patron vote on Ashley. And so I am so sorry to our good friend MJC, who asked the vote.
Hey, what up, MJC?
For Ashley, and unfortunately,
I can't believe y'all did this to him. I can't believe you 2 did this to him.
Get out of here! He voted here too. Yeah, that's it. But I believe that was MJC's first vote, so he'll get one more before this round has concluded.
Okay, MJC, DM me and tell me who you voted for. I'll make sure they go through.
Let's recap what we had here today. We all shined bright like a Frankie and sent Frankie Grande through to the next round over BB Can 3 Ashley Wood, along with Ashley's showman's partner, Zach. Don't believe it worked out for them in the real world. I think Ashley's happily married with child, I think. But didn't work out here either because Zach has also been evicted from the bracket. The second or three names from BB Can 3 today. Kind of crazy. But Zach is gone, and Kevin Martin, the winner of BB Can 5 as well, has gone through to the next round. And then the first matchup was kind of weird. But hey, Mark McGrath going through to the next round. Kat from BB Can 1, the first ever BB Can evictee, is not moving on. And Pooya, I don't know, feels a little bit of a stronger group than the first time.
I think so. I feel like you manifested a BB Can 3 outcome and you got what you were looking for. Because what, 50% of the people were from BB Can 3?
Yeah.
Which is kind of wild. But no, I think this was good, and I feel like the next episode's gonna even get juicier. I feel like we're slowly building, the three of us, and I'm very okay with this.
Yes,
That's
because even though you scared me by saying you were not maybe going to come back.
To be clear, it was the implication that I don't know if I'll get invited.
Right.
You know, I don't know.
Well, whenever Peridium gets invited next, you'll be the episode after.
Amazing.
So
you know, they call me the +1 to Peridium.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The odds were in the favor of this BB Can 3 happening at some point. They had, before this episode, 11 players still on the wheel, and no other season even had 10. The next closest is BB Can 6 that still has 9. But yeah, it's been a long time coming for BB Can 3. So that's that. Pooya, thank you so much for joining us for round 2. What's going on for you here in the month of October?
Well, every week, as y'all know, myself and Liana get together, talk some things over on the Pooya and Liana Lounge. So make sure you check that out. Find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Pooya. I'm there about 4 times a week, trying to keep it 5 times a week. We'll see how everything is going to be moving forward to end the year out here. And I am very busy with the Traders stuff. So Traders Ireland has wrapped up, but there's still plenty of other traders coming, especially this month of October. We're going to have Celebrity UK Traders happening and Traders Canada Season 3 by month's end also. So I'm going to be busy. I'm going to be blessed, but I'm going to be happy with it. So check them out. Check all
you know who's on Traders Canada? Have you seen any of it?
I did see that Kevin is going to be on. I'm excited to see him.
Kevin and Season 11 winner Ty.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Kind of crazy.
They got his ass on there before they got Anthony's ass on there. Okay.
I know. Plus they have Omer and Venus. So it should be fun. I am excited to watch it.
Wow.
Should be a good time.
All right. Well, Pooya, thank you again for joining us today. Everybody, make sure you're checking out everything Pooya is doing, you know, of course, including the Goose that, you know, Aman and I are usually at, and Pooya and Aman are usually at each other's throats there, but they got along again today. So that's all good.
We have fun.
Aman, anything for you at the moment?
Nope. I'm just a poor boy. Is that the word?
I don't know. You tell me. I mean, in the song, yeah.
Yeah, okay. No, nothing's going on for me. I'm just
not telling you how poor you are or not.
Chilling. Wow, that's crazy, man. All I needed was some words.
You're singing lyrics at me. Anyway.
Shot me down. That's crazy.
Well, Aman's here. Aman's also on Patreon with all of us and all of the patrons that are here with the podcast. Losers bracket coming very soon, as well as the next battle back vote, which will include now Kat, Zach, and Ashley. So if you were a big fan of the Showmans and want to vote one of them in, they are 2 options along with all of the names we listed at the top of the episode.
The Showmancer is just out. That's crazy.
Oops. Just happens sometimes. So yeah, check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/the diary room. And you know, still time to cast some votes for players yourselves. If you want to do that, whether it's this round, next round, all that fun stuff. Otherwise, check me out on the Free Agents podcast, talking about the challenge and the amazing race with this Big Brother cast with Brian Scally every single week. And Dancing with the Stars is in season over on RHAP. So make sure you're checking out myself and Sasha talking all things Dancing with the Stars every single week. otherwise, I think that's it. So thank you again, Pooya and Aman. Let's go.
Yes. Our thanks to Pooya once again. And until next time, guys, please go to the diary room.